Hi, I'm Sophie, and I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm here to help with that. And we are
SP Film Viewers.
Pop Quiz Hotshot. There's a movie review podcast in which the focus is on one person seeing the film for the first time and giving their honest opinion on it. What do you do?
Think, if I'm right in saying, you would like, subscribe, you'd follow them on Instagram and Twitter under the handle SP_film viewers. Is that right?
That's pretty much, right on the money, yeah.
That was weird for me doing that part, I'm not gonna lie. It's normally your piece, you're like, have I said that right?
Yeah, you did a good job.
Hey.
Yeah, so you find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you might get your podcast from, and you give us a review.
Any nice comments are definitely appreciated, so we'll take them.
Yeah. Shows we're doing it at the beginning.
And I feel like I've ended the podcast already. Right, okay, that's it, done.
Yeah.
So if anyone hasn't probably not know what film we're reviewing, maybe from that kind of quote.
Certainly the pop quiz line is one of the noted things that keeps cropping up in this film, and you obviously know from what you're clicking on the play button from things as you would normally do. We are talking today about Speed, 1994, and it's fairly close to in line with when we reviewed The Matrix, so another Keanu Reeves film in close proximity, but it doesn't matter. It's our podcast. We do what we want, really.
Well, yeah. We can. And luckily enough, this was one of the gifts that you got from myself.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit selfish, actually. But what Paul does is he gives me a list of movies or vinyls or whatever he's interested in wanting.
Yeah.
And I get to then read the, do you call it a blurb? It's not like
the synopsis, the description, whatever, of the film, and you go, oh.
So I'm like, oh, I might actually want to watch that. So I'll get that for his birthday.
Yeah. And I know I've seen it a fair few times now, and I feel like it's like a really engaging action film, and it's a very solid 90s one as well, and they seem to be hard to come by in terms of like something that's really gripping. I wanted to see what you thought of it, really. But I had strong suspicions that you probably would enjoy it anyway. It's kind of like edge of your seat type of film, and to revisit as for me as well, really, just to be like, it just still grip me as after seeing it a few years ago and everything.
Definitely gripping film. I think it kind of has different plots and twists within it, but the ending is quite predictable. You know, at the end, like, I'm sat there going, come on now, we all know this isn't how it's going to end. Like, so it's more the middle bit that keeps you on the edge of your seat. I think that kind of is gripping. The ending, not that it disappoints me, but it's no surprise or shock. And obviously I wouldn't want it to end in a different way. Well,
right, okay, we'll come back to that, I think, because it's
so
not quite like clear cut.
It's not as, it is gripping throughout, but we'll come to the ending bit where I'm like,
okay, yeah.
So you've got obviously a very young Keanu Reeves, looking beautiful as always.
Yeah, does it shock you that he's got short hair?
Yeah,
rather than long hair.
And his voice even sounded a bit strange to me initially when he opened his mouth. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe it was just because he was quite young.
Yeah.
Is he younger in The Matrix?
No, he'd be a bit older in The Matrix.
So maybe that's why. But maybe his voice had, I don't know how he was here, but it did seem a little bit more, I don't know, like he was putting on a stronger voice, like more like a deep voice.
He's a cop. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't help that the opening scene he had chewing gum in his mouth. So
Yeah. Trying to cover up the fact that he's whatever his lines were.
So it opens with quite a strong kind of scene with the elevator, which me and you both know. Probably banged on about it enough to say that I've been stuck in an elevator once. It is the most horrific experience. It's really not pleasant. You've got nowhere. It's boiling. You're stuck literally with these people that if you don't like them, you're pretty screwed. You can't move that fast. It's really claustrophobic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and it's just a bit relatable to I don't go in the elevator anymore, or the lift.
You try not to anyway. Yeah.
If I could get away with it,
yeah,
I'd climb all the stairs possible.
Right.
Then go in a lift or an elevator.
Uh-huh.
So, lesson learned to these people. Obviously, I understand in America you've got so many floors. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like how many flights of stairs you have to actually climb to.
But
you'd
be
so
fit.
out of breath. Yeah, you would. But it's just for their means of convenience, really. Just because we build
just don't build your building so high, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So obviously, not a kind of fun thing with obviously saying high buildings, and obviously it's kind of like a terror attack. This is, isn't it? Really.
Mm-hmm.
So this elevator's got a bomb on it, which makes it even scarier because the thought of being in an elevator which is metal,
right? Yeah.
And then a bomb, and then just the heat on that as well.
Well, you mean
confined space as well. It's like
when it was about heat, the fact that you're just gonna immediately
combust.
Die. Yeah. More the concern there, I think. But
so we get to have a lovely glimpse of him being a wonderful cop. I wish every cop was like Keanu Reeves. I probably would be like, yeah, I'm really rooting for him. So we've got he's called Jack in this, isn't he? And we've got, if I'm correct, Harry.
Yeah, that's right.
Is his partner.
Yeah.
Harry is a lot of an older cop. Jack goes with his gut and is more like wants to kind of do good and wants to save everybody, and he's really, really like a new puppy in a job.
Yeah, seems that way.
Yeah. And he's kind of fumbling around, but knows what he needs to do because obviously he's got paperwork, I'm guessing, against his name. Whereas Harry's a little bit more of he's seen it, he's seen how it goes. Sometimes it doesn't go great, and life kind of gets to a point of where you're thinking not everything is you get lucky and it's a smooth sailing ride. Which I think this is what the problem is for Jack. He's like so ambitious, so wants to get everything done that he kind of messes up this first mission with the elevator, and this is how it kind of spirals on into the next parts of the film.
Okay.
Because I think if he'd have held off a little bit, I know he rescues them all.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
But then he gets this vendetta, doesn't he, with the bad guy, which they do actually call him in the film, which makes me chuckle.
Yeah, who's played brilliantly by Dennis Hopper, and his character's name is called Howard Payne. But
I think the last name is brilliant.
Payne, yeah.
Like he's a pain in the arse.
Yeah, as you said, oh, what's wrong with his hand? I said, well, it's pretty much, he's obvious bad guy trope, isn't it? It's like some done bad too, so it's going to have some against the world type of thing.
I do feel like this, I'm not saying that bad people can't be all ages and sizes and stuff, but he's quite an old, cynical man.
Yes.
Normally you see them quite young, being a bad role, kind of not knowing much better, but wanting to think, if I do this and this and that, I'll be able to get further in life. Whereas he seems a bit of a strange bad guy for me.
Okay.
He's messed up, don't get me wrong. He plays it brilliantly because you absolutely hate him. Or
as he puts it, he says later on, eccentric. Yeah.
You despise him, don't you? Really, you do.
Oh, yeah. That's a sign of a good villain. When you just like, I just want to punch him in the face or whatever and just see him have the comeuppance.
Yeah. He deserves everything he gets, really. But to be honest, he puts poor Keanu through
hell of a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Those people, though, in the elevator, though, they seem a bit ungrateful, don't they? They're a bit snarky about certain things. Like, come on, guys.
Like, why aren't they just a repairman?
Yeah.
Why have they got the
Why does it take it till? It's like, you might die. Just Just
shut up and put up. You know,
Yeah.
you're lucky that you're still alive at the moment. There was that one lady, which I get, you can get a bit of fear when they kind of got to a point of rescuing them out of the elevator.
Yeah.
And she couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's a bit like, oh no, I'm too scared to move type of thing, shocked. Which is, I can understand
I
completely.
can understand, but it's like, well, which one would you rather have? Would you rather be stuck in the elevator still or die? Like, literally, I would not be as compassionate as Keanu Reeves on that fact. Like, come on. I'm like, well, do you want to die or not? Because if you do, then just stay there. But I'm going.
It's not the way to go. I don't think. I think
I could not tolerate it. I've just climbed up like a shaft, elevator shaft, and then come down on a thing, and then kind of, you know,
on a crane hook. Yeah.
Yeah, been rescuing your ass, and all you have to do was stand in the elevator while it just plummeted quite a bit.
Only that, yeah. I know.
I'd be so ungrateful to not even want to get out of the elevator.
Yeah, but
I know. Probably it's just.
I think if you were there, you might be singing a different tune there. But...
I know. I'd be the first one. I'd be like, let me out.
Yeah.
Or I'd try and help others, I think, as well. But I wouldn't be the last person to be like, no, I'm not getting off.
Yeah. No pun intended here, but the crane hook kind of like flying through when it's like going to come crashing through the air duct or whatever looked a bit ropey. I don't know. It looked a bit. I don't know. What?
I thought it was quite realistic a little bit.
I get the idea of the tension of the weight of the lift pulling it down and thing, but it just looked like a bit like wobbly because it was kind of like going through. But other than that, yeah,
it did kind of keep you on your toes though. The way that it was kind of shot, it did make you think like, God, are they actually going to survive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that kind of initially you questioning it, you kind of like what's going to happen and all of that.
Yeah.
Because I even said to you like, what's going to happen from here? Like, okay, we've saved these people.
Or getting through that, yeah, because you were like, this is all the setup of getting the crane hook down to the elevator shaft and hooking it up and everything. You think is it going to stretch this out over 2 hours? Like, no, it's called speed, so there's not just.
Well, I thought it was something to do with the train, but technically there's a train.
Yeah, at the end. But I mean, from the get-go, you've got almost action straight away, pretty much, and then it kind of like bookends it again at the end as well. So it's kind of like, and then you've got obviously the stuff in the middle, but yeah, you kind of like it. It doesn't seem to really, for the length of the film, it doesn't seem to drag at any point. Really, don't know if you thought even you're thinking, oh come on, this is.
No, I don't think so.
Obviously, the quiet bit, obviously, after the like when they're celebrating after this, this great job on saving those people from the lift type of thing. There's that quiet moment, but that's to be expected. You can't just have it all
action-packed.
Go crazy.
But the story, everything that they did have, always added value. Yeah, there was always something to kind of give you a background, and it was meant to be there, so it helped.
Building the relationship between Harry and Jack and everything and all that kind of stuff. And the other cops, yeah.
So we do get to encounter his bad guy with the cops as well. So obviously they think that Keanu's like, no, he's here because he heard it and he let the bomb off 3 seconds or something before he said he should have done, or minutes.
Minutes, yeah, not 3 seconds. He wasn't used to.
So
not too precise.
He's like, no, something's up.
Yeah.
So they go and try and look for the bad guy. And this is where definitely you can see the age of Keanu's like character Jack when his partner gets kind of taken hostage somewhat.
Yeah. Literally, yeah.
With like obviously the baddie has got bombs all over his chest, Mr. Payne.
Yeah.
And Keanu shoots
partner in the leg to hinder him, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So he kind of like falls to the wayside, and then the Howard is like, wait, what's going on here type of thing, like kind of take him out of the loop, really kind of shock him, like, why did you do that for type of thing. So then it's like a clear shot at him, but
he runs away
and
anyway. They think he's dead because of the bomb.
Yeah.
So it's kind of then where Howard has kind of got a vendetta against Jack.
Yeah.
In a point of where he did outsmart him a little bit, and I think you can see that he's a really good cop and he wants to test his
like play a game with
capabilities.
him.
Yeah. And see how far will he go for his job. So you kind of get to a point of where we get to another scene where he's out and about getting coffee before he starts work, the next day after they've done the award ceremony.
Yeah.
And this poor bus man his bus just decides to combust in the middle of the street because of the bomb. Again, I'm saying it like this is a right thing to happen. It's not. Just so you know, don't put bombs on buses. It's stuff
Public
like that.
service announcement there from Sophie there. Don't put bombs on buses.
It's not nice.
It's very, very bad. Especially with people on them. But...
Well, yeah, even if it's one person, it's still not right.
Yeah.
The only thing I say is do you remember Brainiacs? Basically, they used to blow up like microwaves, and it's like was a scientist kind of thing. There was nobody got harmed, and they blew up kind of like big objects.
Right. Okay.
Then that's okay to blow things up. Then, as long as it's like setting off fireworks, as long as there's a safe perimeter and everything's all okay. But yeah, so this bus gets...
Yeah.
And obviously, Jack's like, what the hell? Like...
Well, he runs over to it, like, thinking, is he going to be okay? I'm thinking, come on,
But then
dude.
it's like, he can't even get to it because it's like, it's hot. And it's like, well, yeah, it's fire.
Yeah. But I've noticed you, like, hear the bus driver guy going, like, oh, like, he's dying. And he's
should
like...
have been dead by now.
Oh, and he, like, kind of walks away, like, oh, well, yeah, what did I expect? Type of thing. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't really know what he was thinking, bless him, he could do.
Are you alright in there?
Well, no, not really, I'm blown up. Then the phone rings, which always is, like, such a typical cliche action film. Like, how did that person get that pay phone number? Like, how did they know how to ring it? Do you know what I mean? Like, who knows the number of, like, a telephone box?
Well, yeah, because they have the special codes or something, I believe, or something like that. So there must be some way of knowing.
How would you retrieve that? Like,
I don't know. For someone who isn't really in the know of that kind of stuff.
Unless you ring the number and it appears on your phone. Like,
yeah, but they didn't have that technology back then, did they? As such, so it's not like today's thing where you get caller ID. But
how it happened. So that always feels like a bit of a flaw in a movie. Like, oh, the phone's magically ringing.
No, I think it's not to be expected because normally you don't really, unless the person who's making the call like normally would be like, all right, call me back and run out of change or something. Or, so here's the number. There'll probably be some access code or something that you ring on it. So there must be some in the directory or somewhere.
Maybe.
In the city's phone book or something where you could
who even has telephone boxes nowadays?
So yeah, that's true. This is the 90s, so it's fairly commonplace. But obviously the ringing telephone booth is kind of like a bit eerie in itself because like, why is that ringing? So it's like...
Also, it's really unhygienic.
Yes.
Also that thinking too. Of it, like the thought of anybody putting their
scummy ears,
just the thought of it now, I don't know if it's just because of the pandemic or something like that, germs seem to appear in my head on things that I wouldn't even thought of before.
Yeah.
But it is eerie with the phone ringing. And obviously it's Howard Payne on the other line. Yeah. Oh, and just the way he talks to you, like, belittles you, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, of course.
But he's no better than anybody, really. If anything, he's just like the lowest of the lowest people there is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you've got to, if you want something, you've got to work hard for it. You can't just blackmail to get what you want. That's not like how life works.
Just because of the fact he had to, well, we don't really get into too much of it, but it's kind of like he feels like he's owed something for his services, shall we say.
Mm. But still doesn't mean you need 3 million.
Yeah, exactly. If we'd all like...
Wouldn't we all? Yeah, like, I don't know why people get this in their heads, though, like, why they must be in a really, really, really bad place to have this masterminded, where they're thinking, if I blow up a bus, I'm going to request 3 million and they're going to pay me. Like, who thinks that way?
But
like, rob a bank if you want that much money. Don't blow up a bus.
But I can't believe that actually when he was like saying, oh, it's 2 years. That's it. I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm not like a heist expert or anything like that by any means. But It seems like that seems like a long time to be planning something to that of that caliber, like in an elevated job, as he calls it. So it's like I
Maybe
don't
it's
know
because
as
he's
to.
on his own.
I
Maybe he
mean,
doesn't want to split this 3 million into
yeah,
thirds, or
yeah. You do the missions in Grand Theft Auto. They don't seem to take 2 years, do they, to get together, and they're done
yeah, but
in.
there's a lot more heads involved in that, isn't there? Not just
guess.
one insane man.
Well, so why go just for 3 million? Why not like 5 or 10? Like
Because that's greedy.
doesn't take too much.
Well, a million would be fine, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess, but
Like, just a couple of grand would. But literally, you could rob a bank for that.
Mm.
Why he thinks that
I don't think
hostage?
if he's saying he could do that on his own, would he? He'd be very much outgunned, really.
Maybe.
To do, and at his age, he probably wouldn't be able to do that. So he can just easily just hide away and get like survey things and just threaten. Yeah.
So he tells poor Jack that there's a bus with a bomb on it.
Yeah.
And that if it goes over 50, it'll activate the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Not to blow up, but just to kind of like trigger it.
Yeah.
And then if it goes anything below 50, then it will literally just go off.
Yeah.
So ideally you want to get to the bus before it hits 50.
Yeah. Well, I kind of knew about this concept. Mark will definitely appreciate this. I think it was the Simpsons episode where Homer sees an alien. I can't remember what the title is, but to get out of work on a Friday, he decides to do a similar thing where they're doing this film where it's like hook up the video footage on the cameras in a continuous loop. And Homer says like he saw this in the film, and he says, "I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down."
Such a Homer line.
Yeah.
You do love your Simpsons, don't you?
Do, yeah.
Is that all you used to watch when you were little?
Very influential, yeah. Certainly the earlier stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, I ain't seen much. I don't really know what I used to do when I was little. I don't know. I just didn't watch a lot of telly.
Yeah. But you still do watch a lot of Sandra Bullock films?
I do like Sandra Bullock films. I'm not gonna lie, she is an amazing lead lady in anything. I don't feel like she's done a bad film.
I can't think. Obviously, like Miss Congeniality.
Still good.
And I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just thinking like what other things I may have seen her in. And
she's always the same kind of role though. She's like normally kind of badass in it, like little sassy kind of character, but lovable at the same time.
Yeah.
But she plays it really, really well. And like there's The Proposal, which she's brilliant in. So yeah, so bigs up for that. So actually I prefer Sandra Bullock over Keanu Reeves, to be fair.
As an actor?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we kind of get a shot of her trying to get on the bus.
Yeah.
And we all know how that feels when you've missed your bus. And you just wish that you could, like me, for example, you knew how to drive. Or Paul, bless him, how many times did it take for you to get your licence?
What, you mean pass my
test?
The test,
yeah.
The practical test. Third time's the charm. Sadly, but yeah.
I'm hoping I'm one of those that just gets lucky, but I doubt it. So obviously she's got her licence revoked, hasn't she? Because for speeding.
Yeah.
So we do figure that out. So she's on the bus, and don't you just hate it when these random people talk to you on the bus?
Yeah, I got that down as well. Like,
I think I'm one of those that when I used to be on the bus, I attracted a lot of people talking to me.
Yeah. That's why I always had my headphones in and just.
I still had my headphones in, but it's because of the long hair. So headphones, long hair over.
Yeah.
People are talking to you, and you're like looking at them like, are they talking to me? And then you're like, take your headphones out, which is the worst thing you can ever do, because then it's like, how do you reapply the headphone back in?
Yeah.
So I've had some conversations where I've been on the bus and it's like, oh, I'm taking my cat to the vet, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then telling me every single thing, like why they've taken them to the vet for like the half an hour journey that I'm on. Must just have one of those faces, Paul.
You must do.
So I think Sandra Bullock gets that kind of vibe. Where
From this-
she's very good at trying to disguise the fact that, oh, look, there's gum on my seat and I'm going to move
Yeah,
it. It's like, well, it's
yeah.
on your hand now, love. You might as well just stay there and wipe it off. There's not a reason to move from your seat, is it?
No.
Really lame excuse.
She may have gone, what's that over there? Just moved this-
I'm never
those
really
seats.
good at that, though, trying to be rude or impolite by trying to cut a conversation
Yeah.
short. I try,
Mm.
but it's not my strong point. I'll just carry on talking to the person I would do. Well, at one point, oh God, this shows how bad I am. Jehovah's Witness collared me in the middle of the street. He was peeing it down in Maine. And I think I stood there like half an hour talking to him because I didn't know how to leave.
Okay.
And I missed my bus twice.
Oh, God. Well, you better hope there wasn't a bomb on it, I guess.
Oh, well, there you go. He might have known that and he might have saved me from them two buses. I think I'd have heard it on the news like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's about this time anyway that the bus is already set in motion and it's getting up to speed. No pun intended. I wonder how many times they actually say speed in the film.
That would be a good fact to know.
Yeah, if it is a factor.
We don't know.
No.
Probably a lot.
No.
You do get the gauge. I don't know if it is in America or not, though, but I know in Australia they can go, because I got really scared. They're kind of miles per hour. Or, I don't know if it's miles per hour in some states.
Yeah, it must be.
There's,
I can't imagine what else it would be.
Goes to 100.
On the gauge or just...
Well, I saw a sign saying, like, speed sign 100.
Oh, right, okay.
So I don't know if it is miles per hour or if it's something else. But, like, I was like, bloody hell, we're going to be doing a speed of 100 on this motorway. But I'm guessing 50 must be, in America, must be like R50, I feel.
Yeah,
because the bus only goes up to 70.
It's got to be, yeah.
I don't even think ours is allowed to go that fast, though, is it really?
Unless it's one of those coaches that goes on the motorway anyway to take
I'm
to
sure
places.
they can only go 60, can't they? Can't go 70.
No,
maximum
but
for us is 70. Because imagine if they're going 70 and then they crash.
Yeah, but most cars anyway have the gauge really over that anyway. So it's like I don't know what's even the point of that if you can't even do speeds of that.
Shouldn't be an option, really,
should
should
just
it?
be a cut-off point of 70
why is
max.
there 80 on there if the speed limit is only 70?
Yeah, and Keanu's now like stop the bus.
And everyone thinks he's absolutely insane.
But I mean, I was thinking about this at the time, thinking, well, the easiest way to stop the bus is shoot the tyres, and then it wouldn't be able to get anywhere. But
they'd blow up, Paul.
Yeah, I know. I thought that after the fact that he would still blow it because he obviously has eyes on the bus anyway, so he'd know that the bus is stopping and whatever. So it's like
the bomb would go off if it hit 50. Oh, do you mean before it hit 50? But how would Keanu Reeves know it hit 50 or not? So it's a risk where he couldn't take it.
Well, that's true. Yeah, there's that factor as well. But I mean, in just after on the fact, well, he might shoot the tyres. Yeah, that stops the bus. But then he'd probably just blow the bus up anyway. So it's from the distance because he know that the bus has stopped anyway, and it's not gonna. He hasn't got leverage on blackmail, so yeah, it's kind of void anyway. But yeah, and then
the movie would end quite quickly if that did happen.
Yeah.
So he's scaring the people on the bus now, frightening them all.
Yeah.
He then steals this man's car. So obviously he gets out and he's trying to shout and bray on the bus, but the bus driver's like, I'm not having this.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him, really. You wouldn't want somebody like that on your bus. But obviously there is a bomb on the bus, so they have to do this sign saying there's a bomb on your bus, which goes on his dashboard.
The windscreen.
Yeah. What's your dashboard?
That's inside.
Oh, God.
That's where you see the gauge.
You can't drive, can't you?
Yeah. Well, only the bus driver sees it, though, which
is good because you don't want to panic all of the passengers.
No.
So he's able to get on to the bus at that point then, because he's like, let me get on. But this poor man's car, it's quite fancy. I don't know the make of it. I'm not really a car, well, you can tell, car connoisseur, am I? His door gets ripped off. Like, have you got insurance? And it's like, yeah, but that's not going to cover it all.
No.
Don't know, it works in America, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't.
No, how would you describing the accident?
A policeman said, "Have I got insurance?" And you need to claim
And
for the fact
the
that
bus
I saved.
scraped it
Yeah,
off.
ripped my door
Yeah.
off. You'd be mortified, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I know.
I don't think anybody would be. So yeah.
You had a little tug, but it's not been that as bad as your
No.
door coming off.
No, thankfully not.
So there's one bit where I actually was like, "Oh my god," and thought it was absolutely terrifying. Obviously, we get to a point of where the bus is in uproar, and there's a guy thinking initially that the policeman's there for him.
Yeah.
And then he shoots the driver.
Yeah, just because he's just
waving his gun around like an idiot.
Because one of the other people on the bus is trying to stop, take the gun off him.
Everyone should just calm down and be patient.
Yeah.
But it's when Sandra Bullock gets behind the wheel where I think then the film becomes the film it is.
Yeah.
But God, doesn't it get you? I don't know when the first time you saw it, when they're driving and they're kind of off the freeway and they're into more like a city centre, and there's this woman with a pram and she kisses a friend, and then it pans, and then it pans back to her with the pram.
Yeah.
Then the bus going vroom.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my god, and you're like, this baby's gonna die. It's because you don't think nothing else is gonna be in the pram.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then Sandra Bullock's like, oh my god, I killed the baby.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a psych, isn't it? But then.
And I'm like, Paul, no, this can't be that a baby gets killed.
They wouldn't allow that in the.
But it did make me think that. It did.
Yes, it got you, so that's good.
Did it get you the first time you saw it?
Well, I think that's the intention, but yeah, knowing it, obviously, after the fact, it's it's not.
So I'm looking at you like, it's not. He's not panicking like I am.
Yeah.
Like, this poor baby's going to die. But yeah, it was just because she'd gone shopping and it was all her cans.
Yeah.
And she still had a beef about it. I'm like, well, at least she didn't have a bloody baby in it. Like,
yeah.
You can pick all your food up, it'll be right.
Yeah. But then obviously there's some more trials and tribulations as we go along, like as they're having to turn off, veer off to the thing and do a turn, like a high, maintaining speed. Wow. Yeah, Sophie's laughing because she didn't know it was a similar situation where I've done that kind of thing, but I wasn't in any danger or anything like that.
Yes, you were. We could have died.
No, I mean, there wasn't a bomb on the car or anything like that.
Oh, no, there wasn't. It was just your pure
I wasn't being
laziness.
pursued by. Yeah, it was.
Because, do you want to tell the viewers? Or do you think
Listeners.
do you want to tell the listeners, or do you think you'll get a ticket now sent through the post if you do?
Oh, really? It was not that bad.
It was mortifying. It was absolutely terrifying.
So, but long and short of the story is basically we were driving.
Don't make it sound like it's so simple. Oh, basically, all I was doing. Don't make it so easy breezy.
All I was doing. We're in Windermere, in the Lake District, heading to Kendal.
Kendal, yeah, this big ass roundabout.
And obviously, you're going at a speed down that road anyway, and it's maybe 40.
I'm sure it was more than that. I think it's
like
60.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm thinking, well, I can obviously clearly see.
There's nobody
there's
there.
no car coming from the right, so I'm okay to just carry on going round.
Yes, but when you're at a roundabout, you should slow down and you should change your gears.
Yeah, so I went round the roundabout in 5th gear.
And he did a wheelie.
And yeah, basically we're burning a bit of rubber as I was going around.
But it wasn't your side that was lifting up. That's why you thought, oh, it's fine. Whereas mine's going, and I'm like, I'm up in the air here. What the hell? We're going to be on his ass in a minute. And you're like, what's wrong with you? We're fine.
No,
I'm like,
to be honest, I wasn't like, oh, this is, piece of piss or anything. But it was a bit scary and coming off like, that was an experience and a half.
It's not what I want to relive, but you keep doing it, so I have to go like this. Gear.
Yeah.
Gear. It's like you'd be better in an automatic.
Yeah, I would.
Horrible. But Sandra Bullock handled it a lot better, and she had to do it. Also,
she hit some obstacles, didn't hit any obstacles, did I?
No, but she had to go at 50 miles per hour through a city centre, whereas you didn't have to go in Fifth Roundabout. What's your argument?
Don't have for just laziness and just knowing I'll be
Can't wait
fine.
until I can drive and I'll take you round roundabout in fifth gear. Then you'll shit yourself.
And then other instances where, like the fact that the construction of a bridge has not been completed, you know, typical.
Like,
work.
why the hell did they take them on that route? How did they not know it was not completed? Like, you know what
There's
I mean?
no time to think on, like, you pretty much having to go straight without less obstacles as you possibly can.
I get
So
that.
fine.
That's fine. But you would know that the road is not completed. No?
Well, they looked at the police chief, like, looking at the map and said, oh, it is done. But then someone else says, no, I guess they didn't finish it on time, type of thing. So it's like, well, why have we got the blueprints that say this? But something quite important like that isn't actually done. So it's like...
So they have to do, bless her, Sandra Bullock works her ass off. Like, I know Keanu Reeves does a bit, like trying to calm everybody down.
Yeah.
And tries to defuse a bomb, but is not done a brilliant job of it. But she has the hard slog.
Yeah.
All she thinks she's doing is going to be late for work. You know, she didn't think this was going to be her Monday morning, did she?
No.
She didn't get paid for that crap.
No, and it's a big vehicle, a bus, isn't it, compared to a car? So it's not easy. And I mean, I don't do much long drives anyway. Really, it's kind of just tootling here and there. But I know it can be mentally exhausting to doing long drives.
Just the concentration.
But with this added pressure of you've got to keep at high speed and not crash, basically.
Also the passengers as well. It's not like you've just got like 4 people in a car or 5. You know, you've got quite a few people causing havoc in the background as well, which is not great. So we get to a point where we're able to let the bus driver off.
Yeah, because he's badly injured.
But then that woman, she does my head in.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I can't be on the bus any longer. It's like, well, are you actually that selfish that you're going to make everybody die because you can't handle being on the bus any longer? Yeah. I would not be able to be Sandra Bullock and be like, looking at her like, don't. I'd be like proper screaming.
Yeah, get back here, you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop being so selfish. Yeah. I don't want to die.
Well, she does. The bomb by the door, the steps get boom.
Good though, to be fair. Like if you can't handle this situation, you need to be calm. I know it's scary, but you need to work all together as a team. You can't just be selfish, and that is a life lesson in itself.
Mm-hmm. So eventually, they manage to go to the airfield, don't they? So it's obviously a lot of space to drive around. Thankfully, there's no more like real sharp turns or anything like that to get in the way.
But I feel like that might be more boring and mundane for like Sandra Bullock's character, because you're just going around the same loop.
Okay.
And it's like, whereas like at least it's keeping her on her toes and awake. You know, like how sometimes you can get.
Well, you just casually. Well, I'm just going to do this now.
But you know, if she's gone through a lot this morning, and now she's just having to concentrate going around the same kind of circuit.
Right.
Which I can imagine could be even more draining after what the morning she's just had.
Whew, what a day. Yeah.
She's had it hard.
Yeah.
Like, no one else has had it as hard as her.
Except for the people who died, yeah.
Well, that was her own fault, that lady. I'm guessing the driver was alright. You don't really find out.
Yeah, you just assume. Yeah.
I'm just assuming he was okay because he was only shot in the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, only. Like I would be fine with that if that happened. Not really. I'd be crying like a little girl.
Yeah. But then, at this point, things kind of go a bit awry, don't they? Because Keanu's character, Jack, is speak to the other police and manage to go on this, what do you call, what you used, kind of like when you go under the car to see, like, underneath it. I don't know what the technical term
like
is.
Like some mechanical
yeah,
stuff,
yeah. To,
some grease as well. Is that red thing that you go into cars?
Right. Okay. To look at the bomb and try and disarm it, really.
But this person who has created the bomb never creates the same bomb. It's always something kind of a bit more inventive, I guess.
Yeah.
Which comes kind of self-explanatory towards the end, but his partner is in Keanu's ear, isn't he? Kind of
Yeah.
trying to walk him through it.
Yeah, so, and then I think it's at that point, so while he's kind of like talking through the, like, disarming the bomb and everything, it's kind of like, right, we're going, they find out who the person is who's been doing all this, and, like, and his partner's like, right, we're going to the source now, really. But then at that point, Gav's, because of the tyres have also been popped because of the safety measures of stopping vehicles coming through the airfield.
Yeah.
Pop tyres, so there's kind of like that kind of pressure going on as well, with the tyres getting more air out and everything.
Yeah, and poor Keanu gets hit with the rubber, doesn't he?
Yeah,
of
which
one of the
then
tyres.
Has to, like, take a screwdriver or whatever into the oil tank.
Of all things, like, that you have to, like, just...
Pierce, yeah.
Yeah.
But you also said before, didn't you, like, for how much fuel have they actually got in the tank of this bus? Because, like, it's been going for...
Yeah, like, that was the way that I thought it was going to go, that they were going to just run out of gas in general just because they've been going for so long.
Yeah.
Like, I can imagine it'll have a bigger tank than a car, obviously, because it's powered more.
Yeah, but you don't know if the bus driver that day had filled it up properly.
No.
What the
Did he
gauge
have a full
was.
tank?
Yeah, when he started. Yeah. So Harry goes to the house where I think he's hiding out, only to find out that that's got some bombs planted in it as well. So then that's kind of like a sour out for, like, you see it in his face when he's like, he realizes like, oh, this is it.
We've gone. There's no way of stopping it
now.
But it was obviously Howard's house, so we're in the right place. But Howard was always like one step ahead of knowing, oh, they're going to come for me there, so I'm going to plant a bomb and kill him. So really bittersweet for Jack's character, because obviously he was really close to Harry.
And then he kind of loses his cool a little bit when he kind of realizes what, it's like, you son of a bitch and everything. So it's like almost like freak out and everything.
Did you see the muscles on his arms when you were doing that? I wonder if he'd like pumped a load beforehand.
Got riled up, yeah.
Yeah. You can see his veins and everything. Wasn't looking that
Yeah, because throughout the film, he's... throughout the film, he's fairly level-headed and cool anyway, in the way he's...
Quite calm, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. And then this moment of just
it
sheer
kind
anger.
of reminds me of you. Like, you're quite calm, mellow, nothing really kind of flusters you too much.
Yeah.
But let's say your computer wasn't working, or if somebody cut you up in the middle of the road or something like that, that's when you're like, your rage.
Road rage, yeah.
Road rage and computer rage or Wi-Fi rage.
Yeah.
Would be your triggers.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like kind of you just... And you're a bit like that, because... If anybody looked at you and spoke to you, they wouldn't think you could.
No, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Stuff that comes out of my mouth sometimes when I'm really angry. Yeah.
So Sandra Bullock is that when she comes into being the main lady of like, we can't die, we need you.
Yeah.
Calm down kind of thing. Level heads him out again to say, look, we need your help on this, we need your support. So you can kind of see then slowly, oh, something's blossoming here.
Yeah. Of course, it's kind of inevitable, isn't it?
That's what I meant by not the action part, but the love romance and kind of, it feels like a
the
given
connection. Yeah.
But they do seem to bounce off one another as acting quite well together. And obviously, there's brilliant shots within this where I can imagine with the action parts, there's obviously stunt doubles and stuff like that for what Keanu does.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant to look at it as a whole of how it's actually been created.
How do you mean?
Just the idea of like the whole stunts and everything. I don't sometimes look at it and appreciate an action film with all the stunts that's been done and blowing everything up. They'll have had fun doing that, won't they?
Yeah.
But like when we've been watching the other day, we watched How They Made Pretty Woman.
On that Movies That Made Us series on Netflix.
Been really enjoying that.
Yeah.
And I think it really helps to kind of look at it a bit more critical of how long did this film take to make and even to write the script.
There's so much work that goes into them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just people showing up and acting, is it? It's a hell of a lot more than that.
No, yeah. And then around about this point now, after he's kind of cooled down a little bit and everything, he kind of knows like, okay, there's clearly some way he's knowing all about this because of the wildcat that he's kind of been saying in his ear when he's been on the phone to him, and it's like was it Arizona Wildcats or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like he's kind of, well, okay, we'll clock that is the team thing, and so that how would he have known that information? And it's like this camera that's hidden behind the reflective mirror thing that's on the bus. A bit of a flaw in the fact that it's, well, I guess a flaw, but it's I guess the technology didn't have audio feed, which I know is tricky to have. Just security cameras only should only seem to have the video feed anyway. So I guess that's to be expected.
Is it like a privacy thing as well? I don't know.
Yeah. Or a cost thing, perhaps. But so you guys the idea, which I was obviously mentioned before about in the Simpsons episode where Homer like links the thing and to put a thing on a continuous loop for the footage, so it kind of makes it look like they just everyone look forward, and we're just going to do this motion for a little bit for like a minute of footage, and just do it on the loop, and hopefully that works so that we can get everybody off the bus safely now. Which Howard doesn't see because being an old man, he has to go to the toilet. So that's his flaw there. It's like you have to step away for a moment, and managed to do that while he was away. Things. So nature calls, and he had to go. So it's
just referring to the bomb as well. It kind of links in with the job he does. So I think that also helped, didn't it, to find it. So the bomb actually was linked to a actual physical watch, which is a golden watch that normally kind of policemen
when they retire,
they've provided the length of service.
Yeah, so his next cop that's been hard done to, I guess something with his hand, I think he mentions as well. So it's like, I want to go against all the cops that all my years of service, and for what really? So I want me what's due. I don't know. Unless he's totting up what everything he's done in terms of job wise is worth. I don't know, maybe.
I think he thinks, I've saved X amount of lives. What gratefulness did I get from defusing that bomb? What gratitude or whatever. So he thinks like the police department owe him.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, now you're creating bombs and you're one of them. So I don't understand the mindset shift, but yeah, they're all off now and they're safe. Obviously, this is where you kind of get the moment with Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves again, where it's like, well, how's she going to get off the bus? Because the bus still needs to be moving for them to get it off.
Yeah, so a lot of wire and everything, and the metal pole on the gas still going. So they open up the hatch that goes underneath the bus, and everyone's just slide out to a safe distance. The bus is still
very,
going.
very cosily together as well. Like the laid in bed kind of position.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So it's very James Bond-esque, really, kind of means of
like swooning.
Yeah, once it's all explosion in the background, everything, and then it's like the calm moment now, and then we can like look into each other's eyes.
Like I'd be getting up. I'm like, are you all right? Is everything okay? I wouldn't just be laid there in the dirt.
Yeah.
Would you?
No.
Unless you're like physically injured and you can't get up. Otherwise, it'd be like, whew, glad that's over.
Mm-hmm.
So you think you kind of come towards an end with everybody being off the bus, and now it should be kind of Jack's character, Keanu Reeves, and Howard kind of getting to the point of where Howard either goes into prison or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't think anyone else in the bus should really be involved in it because everybody has been rescued and they're safe.
Yeah.
And you see that, obviously, Sandra Bullock's character is in the ambulance. Mm-hmm. And part of me just wants to think, well, if you hadn't got out, it's your own fault.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd have stayed in the ambulance, you'd have been safe. He wouldn't have even known you were there.
Obviously, before that, Howard kind of notices there's like a discrepancy with the whole footage. There's like a frame or something that he's kind of clocked that's like, it doesn't seem right.
Even the fact that the person is there for that length of time, they would have lifted their arm up, like Keanu Reeves' character leaning.
Yeah.
He would have moved at some point.
Yeah.
Like Howie didn't know.
Yeah, that's
earlier.
True. Yeah.
Because they didn't have a long enough footage, and it.
Yeah.
And they was thinking it was that woman's, looked like a bag or
something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Was there for a minute and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of the giveaway, but it's like, well, the fact that somebody's
like,
sat for God knows how long or stood like in.
Yeah. But again, even in the Simpsons stuff, it was like not even that long. It was kind of, and it was old footage of them anyway. So, but it was like really just like quick loops of them just doing stuff. But I guess I would maybe deter it a bit if they were moving a bit more, maybe we'd get away with it. But
Yeah.
I mean, to his discredit, Howard was kind of like watching like sports in the background as well. So how much of a close eye he was keeping on things anyway.
True.
He wasn't like intently like watching.
He was more watching it on the TV, where from the choppers and everything,
Yeah, exactly.
thinking, "Oh, this looks amazing."
Yeah.
Like, why do people do that?
What?
Like, publicise when things like this go wrong. Like, why is it so heavily pressed on the news? Like, I understand people need to be made aware of it, but you're kind of giving that person the limelight that they're
exactly.
wanting.
Yeah, that's why they want to be infamous, not for doing it for the wrong reasons. I find it interesting the fact that also that initially I was reminded to myself like why they've got the numbers on top of the bus, like 2525, just like on the side and everything.
Yeah.
But I guess in the sense of this, it makes sense because also the helicopters know which bus they're tailing to see how progress is going and being the eye in the sky and everything. So, yeah. I mean, none of our buses, as far as I know, have the number of the bus on top of them. But
that is true. Didn't even clock that really. No. Didn't think of it.
Mm-hmm. But yes, so she gets Sandra Bullock, Annie. I don't know if we mentioned her character's name.
No, we haven't.
It's Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
Gets taken away by who she thinks is a cop, which is obviously just Howard, just in disguise. Probably from his old police uniform or something.
Fits quite well today. I wonder when he did retire.
Yeah. Probably not that long ago, maybe. Maybe 3 years ago if he's planning this thing for 2 years.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, maybe. And yeah, so now it ends. So another action thing of being down in the subway now, the trains.
Yeah, so obviously poor Annie's got, Sandra Bullock's character's got bombs connected on her chest and everything like that. Yeah. So much to Keanu's disarray because he's like looking like, he's got the lead lady. And it's like, this is the bit where it's like, it's brilliant, is the action part.
Yeah.
But the end is so predictable that you know.
Yeah, again, it's I got the girl, and what are you going to do about it? Like mustache twirling thing a little bit. Yeah.
And you know in the end,
the damsel in distress is going to be...
Yeah, they're not going to die. Like, it's not going to end that way, is it?
No, because the whole thing of... It's trying to make it seem like that way, doesn't it? Because she's attached to one of the subway train poles inside, whatever, with handcuffs so that she can't get out. And it's almost like a part where, go ahead without me type of thing. The train's speeding down.
I did say this though, didn't I? I wonder if it was an old lady, she'd be like, oh, okay, then see you later, love. But because it's a beautiful woman, it's like, oh no, I couldn't possibly leave you.
Yeah, or even if it was a guy that was maybe like his age or whatever, if it was anybody else, or I'm sure it probably would if it was a child as well. But yeah, if it's an old lady thinking, whatever.
Okay. Gonna die soon anyway, so don't know. It just makes you think, oh, it's because she's beautiful. You're like sticking around a little bit, and it's like, to be fair, they haven't known each other that long to fall in love or whatever, They've only been on a bus maybe not even half a day. No, actually, it's not even half a day. It starts the mission at 8 o'clock and they want some money by 11.
Yeah, so
3
so
hours.
You've got time for lunch, yeah. No, by lunchtime, they're all wrapped up, yeah.
I wonder what he rewarded with his 3 million.
Big spending Mackie D's, yeah.
All the chicken nuggets you want. So, obviously we don't actually say at the moment how Howard Payne is no longer, which is a really good part.
Oh yeah, but also we have the thing where he opens the bag of money and then it does the whole...
I didn't know what that meant. So this purple stuff poofs in his face. Like...
I think it could be purple, blue, or it's just like an ink thing. It's like a trigger, like a trap.
Then is that what it is? It's like...
No, by dirty money it means like money that you haven't earned, like like laundered from like crack deals or whatever. That's more meaning just so that it kind of voids the money completely because again, someone who's a terrorist or whatever and trying to think to get away with it, something like that makes the whole thing a complete waste, really.
I didn't know that you could make money devalue to nothing. I didn't know that was a thing.
That's the easy way to do it, other than maybe scribbling things one by one. But it's a quicker way of just going. Right, it's ruined, soiled. Yeah.
And that's when he flips his
Yeah,
lid.
exactly. It's like, what do I do this for? Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like another mission has just been like kind of
Yeah.
ruined again. And
damn you, Keanu. Yeah.
And he did say like a bomb that doesn't explode is a cheap gold watch, basically. So he's got really resentment towards his service that he has given.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like he's owed something, and then he still doesn't get the money he's owed, and he goes berserk. He starts shooting because Keanu's on the top of the roof at this point, shooting him.
Mm-hmm.
He then even gets to the point of like, why the hell would you climb all the way up onto the roof of the train? Like, so he's literally lost the plot now, as Howard.
Yeah.
He's lost it. He wants to kill Jack, basically.
Yeah.
Because he feels like this cop's just getting in the way of him succeeding in life. Like, he's just blaming him.
Yeah.
Not for the fact that his plan is absolutely stupid.
And he gets his head knocked off as a means to his end, yeah. Which, looking at the thing, it was a long time. It wasn't like just like a quick, like, almost like a, hey, you know, like some quip there and like watch your head or something and go, huh? Or anything like that. It was kind of like, seemed like a long time where it was kind of like looking, oh, there's something coming. And then hits off like, I mean, you could have probably ducked him down in time, but whatever.
It does. I think that kind of was predictable on how it would happen. I didn't think he'd actually die from it. I know that sounds daft, but I guess the speed of the train.
He was going pretty fast.
I think his head would fly off, though.
True. You think he just gets swatted and just end up flying, just his whole body?
Yeah, but like literally looks like his head flies off.
Yeah, because obviously Keanu says he lost his head like a quip. Again, this was like James Bond type of quip that would come out there, yeah.
And then you get the moment of where go on without me, but he doesn't kind of thing, which we've already said. And he thinks it's a good idea to make the train go even faster.
Yeah. Because,
yet again, the track is not finished. Yeah. It's like, come on.
These lazy Americans kind of not getting anything finished.
Half-assed jobs.
Yeah.
So, yet again, speed within it.
Yeah.
And they obviously, you know they're going to live.
Yeah.
But the way it ends for me is just a bit flat. Like, you get so much action in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's brilliant, like, throughout the film until the last about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Where you see the train going, it's like, well, we clearly know what's going to happen. You're just eking it out now.
Mm-hmm.
We know they're going to live.
Yeah.
So, like, this speeded train is like, it kind of feels a bit of a waste because I didn't feel that anxiety of, oh my God, they're going to die.
Yeah.
I did not get that because, like, well, the baddie's dead.
Yeah.
Having the two people that have been in the film, like, leading
this long,
die now would be like...
Yeah, they'd be up for all, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But then they just weirdly start making out once the train's stopped.
Yeah, well, they crashed through this thing that says, like, no, how many days since an accident, and then it's like, oh, how ironic. Yeah, then they obviously, like, having a little, again, it's so very much reminiscent of, like, how a Bond film ends, where it's kind of the making out or whatever, and then everybody's like, oh, what's going on here?
Weird.
Like, come on.
First of all, get a room. Second of all, why is everyone staring at him? Like, if I knew people were staring at me and I was making out with somebody, I'd be like, okay, great, let's stop this. People
can we
watching.
do this a little bit later on?
Yeah, when nobody's there.
Clean up a bit first, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like credits roll, and
that's it.
Yeah.
The end. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
That is just the downside for me on all of this. Everything else is brilliant, but it's just the ending.
Yeah. But they said that a couple of times initially, back to when you said, like, when they were kind of like being sort of lovey-dovey looking to each other's eyes the first time, and they're saying like, oh, what's it about, thing about relationships when it's through trauma isn't, it's a bad idea type of thing.
Yeah.
So then it's like, that's the whole thing about, oh, they're doing this very quickly, like just almost like immediate kind of like falling or just through, just like having an experience through all this together, and now they're kind of like in the moment type of thing.
It's
and that's
one of those
why
things where
the passion comes from
their
that.
wedding or something, you know, it's like, how long would they last?
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe not very long, unless there's a bomb.
Yeah.
Just heat it up. I don't know.
I don't know. I know there's There is a Speed 2, but I don't know. I don't know whether it's Sandra Bullock's in it, or I don't think Keanu Reeves in it. But I've no intention of seeing it. I've heard it's not very good. So
why do they need to do another one? Like, they've done one of them. Unless it had the same people in it.
I don't know.
And I don't get, unless the bad guy didn't die. Like, then I could understand.
He just had a sore head.
Like, no, but I could understand the need for another, possibly, so that he could get caught.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas I can't understand the need for
know.
it if they've not got the same people in it.
I don't know. I have to maybe look what the actual synopsis is after this and see. But like, nah, that's
not for us.
I don't think it's for anybody, really. It doesn't need to exist, you know. It's one of the sequels that just isn't necessary.
It's people becoming greedy.
Mm-hmm. What do we reckon on a score for this?
So, score-wise, I'd say there's Keanu Reeves, there's Sandra Bullock, so you've got two really good main leads.
Mm-hmm.
The bad guy plays a really good role because you absolutely hate him.
Yeah.
And you really... I laughed when his head got taken off. I thought that was brilliant because it's like, yes, well deserved.
Yeah.
There's some good humour within it, and there's a bit of a romancy kind of vibe, even though actually I think I prefer the action than the romance. It sounds really weird coming out of my mouth for me. In this film, I feel like the romance was a bit too cheesy.
Yeah.
For my liking. It wasn't what I class as romance. So overall, for the action, the stunts, the story is quite gripping until the end, until you know it's predictable. I think I'd score it a solid 8 out of 10. What about you?
Pretty much on the same wavelength as you, really, with that, in terms of what you've kind of just said, in terms of, you know, you got solid leads, the bad guy that you love to hate. The action throughout keeps you on your toes, I feel. It doesn't let up, really, in terms of that. It's, you know, seeing this again, it kind of like, even though I know what's going to happen, it still kind of gives you that adrenaline rush that you need, really. It's a very good, solid action popcorn flick, really. That it's obviously, that's what it's designed to be. It's nothing more than that. It's not like groundbreaking in terms of anything other than that. Like, the acting overall is solid, but it works for what it is.
It's no masterpiece, but it's not. It's no Singing in the Rain, but it still is brilliant for a action-packed
absolutely
film.
Enjoyable, and I'm also going to give it an 8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Yeah. Would you say, just for final note though, I'd maybe put this on like a similar pedestal of, like, you know, Die Hard being like another good solid action film from the 90s.
Yeah.
Would you put that in the same caliber, in the same class?
I would, but I still say Die Hard just tops it.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's trying to reach Die Hard, but it's just not got there fully.
Okay.
I don't know if that's just because obviously you've got two brilliant leads in there, and the love side is not as gushy. So you've got two brilliant leads in Die Hard, which are mainly male.
Yeah.
So you've got Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And I don't know his name, but Snape.
Alan Rickman, yeah.
Yeah. And the romance isn't so cheesy on this. It's quite a nice romance
Seems more
story.
real, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, divorced.
But then they get back together. Yeah. It works better.
But a bit more hard hitting as well, because this is a 15, Speed is, and that's, well, it's rated 18, even though it'd be like a 15 now, today's standards anyway, for Die Hard. But yeah, that's good to know. Yeah.
Glad I've made your day on that one then. Well, thank you so much for listening to our episode. There is obviously loads more episodes that you can find on our channel. We won't go through the way you can find us, because we've already done that part.
If you're listening at the beginning, you'd know, and you probably already know by now if you've been listening to all our episodes anyway. But yeah, we implore you to go and revisit some of our back catalogue anyway. As I say, we're getting on the road to 100
Can't
episodes.
Believe we've been doing that for this long.
Yeah,
it
crazy.
Seems it does. But we're still enjoying it, and I hope that you guys are enjoying listening to it.
Yeah. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and we will speak to you next time.
Speak to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.